Hi guys, I'm Emmy Lou. I'm a fashion photographer based in London, and today I'm going to show you my essential pieces of equipment when I go out and do a fashion shoot. It's a question I get asked all the time, so I thought it was about time I showed you into my bag. Okay, so let's start with the bag itself because I absolutely love it. Not the most stylish of bags, but then again most photography bags aren't, but I really love this bag. So it looks like this. It's got lots of compartments. The best bit I think is this front compartment that opens up here. You can fit your lenses and your flash guns in there and any other bits and bobs. On occasion my lunch goes in there. It's also got a laptop compartment at the back, which I tend to have my laptop in. At the moment I've got my model release forms in here, and something else very important if you're shooting outdoors. I've got this sort of waterproof stuff that I bought from B&Q, and I just lay that on the floor because I spend half of my shoots lying or sitting on the floor and shooting upward, and I tend to get a really wet bum, so I now keep this in my bag to protect myself or to protect the model's dress, which is generally more important than myself. Another thing I keep back here is my reflector. This is my small reflector, so if I'm walking around all day on a shoot I'll just keep this one with me. But whilst we're talking about reflectors, I have got my favourite one with me as well. It doesn't fit in my bag unfortunately because it's really huge, but I'll show you. Okay, so you can see the size of it. Kind of. I'm not going to open it up because then you won't see me, and it takes me forever to close it, as all of my team now know. But it is wonderful because it's so big, and again, if you look at my behind the scenes photos on my blog and my Facebook, you will probably see this in use at some point. So that goes almost everywhere with me, unless, as I said, I'm walking around a lot and I just can't have all this bulky stuff with me. Right, so let's move on around the bag. I've got this little thing here which I bought separately, and it is brilliant because I keep all my memory cards in it. So, lots of memory cards. I don't know if you can see it because the light's kind of shiny, but it's full of memory cards. You can never have too many, and it's got this little section here so I can see which memory cards I've used and which ones I haven't. And if you want to see the memory cards properly, I have a brand new one here, so they look like this. Okay, let's move on. Other essential things I keep in my bag. I've got this flash gun here. This is the Nissan DI-886 Mark II. A really lovely flash gun. I don't use them very often, but every now and then they do come in handy. Now, if you've got a flash gun in your bag, it's very important you also have spare batteries, something I've learned the hard way in the past. So my bag is absolutely full of these rechargeable batteries. I've got loads of them. I've also got the charger in this bag at the moment, though if I'm walking around all day I would take the charger out because it would be too heavy otherwise. Right, what else do I have in here? Okay. So important for fashion shoots, particularly if you're in England or just any cold country. Okay, these are kind of dirty hand warmers. They're the sort where you break them like that and then they go really hot. Now, it sounds silly, but if you're shooting in the cold, the most important thing is that you keep your model warm and happy. So I always take a blanket, gloves and these hand warmers with me for my models, as well as bits of food as well. So that's important. Right, something else also important for your models. I've got this thing here. Can you see it? There we go. Oh no, not brilliant. Okay, they're oil absorbing sheets. They cost about £1 for a whole pack, and they're just really brilliant to take the shine off your model, especially if you don't have a makeup artist with you. They're wonderful. Right, Something else equally important, I just have to unhook it from my bag. I've got a few of these. Safety pins, safety clips, whatever you want to call them. They're brilliant because you need to pin your clothes in on your models every now and then. Sometimes you just don't know about the clothes and they don't quite fit, and you'd think that your stylist would have things like this, but so many times stylists forget like the little important things, so I tend to keep little things like this with me just in case. So I'll pin that back in my bag so it doesn't go missing. Another important thing, I've got my business cards in here as well. Just in case. You never know who you're going to meet when you're out, so I always keep them in my camera bag with me. Right, let's get to the really important part. The camera. So, I've got the Canon 5D Mark II here. I bought it second-hand about a year ago. It's in really wonderful condition and I absolutely love it. I do tend to have a strap on it, and it's one of those ones that kind of goes to the side like a shoulder bag, and so my camera kind of dangles off my hip to the side, and I just wear that because it evens out the weight and stops me from getting neck ache. So you'll probably see that on my behind the scenes photos as well. And my lens is the Canon 24-70mm lens. I absolutely love this lens. It just gives me a lot of freedom because I can zoom in and out, and I do tend to stay between 50 and 70 a lot of the time, but it is handy just in case, and it does make life easier now and then. Now, when I don't use this lens, I'll use the Canon 50mm lens. I did have the 1.8. It's really inexpensive, so it's a great lens to start off with. I have just sold that lens last week actually, and I will be buying the Canon 1.4 lens. I've hired it a few times and it's really lovely, so I have used that in my work recently. So that will be going in my kit as one of my essentials when it arrives next week. So that's it with my camera. I'll just see if I've missed anything for you. Not much left in here. Final essential thing. Also kind of silly. Paracetamol. Really handy when you're on a fashion shoot. They can be really long, really hard, really stressful days. At some point, somebody in your team will get a headache and they will not have paracetamol on them. So it's really good to have it so that you can bring everybody back up to feeling happy again. Okay, that is everything in my essential kit. I hope it's been helpful. If you have any questions, I am more than happy to help you anytime, you know that. Please send any questions in to me and I will always answer them via video. Thanks very much, and I'll speak to you later. Bye!